Welcome to another episode of the Stay Connected podcast. I'm here with Brandon Canesi today, world's best no-handed golfer and a true inspiration for the game of golf right here. Brandon, what a pleasure to have you here on the podcast, brother.
Always a pleasure. We do our thing, Leo, and this is us. This is just us continuing to do that. But I appreciate the invite.
100% it is. We've known each other now for, about 3 years?
Yeah, maybe even longer, but yeah.
Yeah, even longer than that. Just filming YouTube content, Instagram content, going out there and just playing golf and having fun. We're very connected to the game.
Always a vibe, always connected.
Yeah. So in this podcast today, we're going to talk a little bit about, Brandon's background, your mindset, and, just your aspirations for the game and kind of how, you want to leave a mark in golf and in what you do in life. So I'm excited for it, man, because you've truly inspired me in a lot of ways.
I appreciate that.
No, you're amazing. What you've been able to overcome and adapt, it's been truly remarkable. And I'm really excited to share this with the people today.
Yeah, man. No hands, no excuses. That's the motto.
None. Dude, so talk to me. Can you share a little bit about your story, how you got into golf?
Yeah, I mean, said it a million times, but what's one more ain't gonna hurt. But I was born without hands, and I designed my own clubs that are super long, and I tuck underneath my arm, and that's basically just based off of how I first grabbed a club when I was a kid. I was so small, and my grandfather's clubs were so big that I naturally tucked underneath my arm, and yeah, just built clubs to mimic that, and been off and running ever since.
And what were some of the biggest obstacles that you faced in the game, and like how did you overcome it in the beginning phases?
Well, the beginning phases, the biggest obstacle was getting the equipment made. I mean, clubs long as mine are so unique and so rare that, you go to club fitters, you go to people that you have this idea that you're trying to do, and they say it's not possible. But, I don't believe in not possible. You just got to find a way to get it done. So, we made it work. And then, with making connections throughout social media and stuff like that, I found a brand to take me under my wing and perfect my design. So.
That's amazing, and it's truly a work of art. I mean, I've seen the clubs. It's almost as big as you. Like they're massive.
Yeah, they're almost 5 feet tall. Yeah, so
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing, man. I mean, and you stripe it out there, bro. I mean, you truly like can play golf. It's not like you're just
absolutely.
out here.
I've been working, and like you said, like we've had plenty of our YouTube matches, and we all struggle, and with golf, it's the game of golf. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And for me, off the tee, I'm always fine. And then around the greens is my bread and butter. Like I love my short game and whatever, but like ball striking, it comes and goes with me. And especially a lot like when we were ever shooting our YouTube matches, like my ball striking was so inconsistent. But I've been working with a guy here, and I've been doing certain drills that have just been getting my ball striking with my irons like so much crispier, like hitting them a lot higher, a lot farther. Like it just making it
Nice.
easier on myself, because like I could scramble from a par from anywhere, but when you're doing that every single round and fighting for par, fighting for par, fighting for par, fighting for par, like obviously it's not going to happen every time, and your scores are going to reflect it. So like there's nothing better than just simple golf when you can just place it in the fairway, get on the green, and two putt and get out of there. So like working on the right things has really helped me. I don't know if you remember my swing a lot. I think one of the biggest problems is like I was so just wrapping it around the inside, like my takeaway. I was just so shallow, like way too shallow, and then like it just caused all kinds of bounce. So I've been working on some stuff, and it's my game's feeling really good lately.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, how has your approach to golf like evolved over the years since you started?
Oh, I mean, we all know it's a slippery slope. Like as a golfer, all it takes is one golf shot to get you hooked for life. So that feeling is just so addicting that you just want to, you want to feel it as many times as possible within a golf round. And, once you get the bug, I mean, I went to school for golf, and I worked at, it made golf my life, and it's just a never ending, we're perfectionists as golfers, we're perfectionists, and we want to find a way to be perfect all the time, even though it's impossible. And, we want to better ourselves because we know what we're capable of. So, I mean, for me, it's, you got to have fun while doing it. bad shots are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, and it's like you got to just stay positive and not like because one of I'm a big on a mental. I'm up here. Mental game overcomes everything else. You have to be able to just let the bad shots brush off your shoulder and then make the next shot like happen. But it's everything in life, man. You can't let the bad overweigh the good.
100%. And you're one of the best at that. I remember watching you at the first ever U.S. Adaptive Open up in Pinehurst.
Yeah.
That course was a little bit long for you. You were hitting a ton of woods in.
Oh, bro,
Um,
I had to take a head cover off at every second shot. Well, it was just the way that it was played. I was playing at like 6,700 yards. For me, that's huge.
yeah.
You know,
No,
they
but you were
they fixed
mentioning
that.
how like you're obviously like your strong part is your short game. I've seen it. I
Yeah,
mean, you got magic hands, like we
yeah,
like to talk about it.
yeah.
But I mean, it's how do you maintain that like resilient mindset through the round where you're just like you're not hitting greens, like you just gotta like scrap it out there like constantly. Like what
I
do
mean,
you do to really stay resilient through the
I
round?
think it's really just like knowing for me. Like I know that my short game is my strength. So even if I'm not hitting it well, and it's just through experience, I've played so much golf in my life that it's like it's never over until it's over. Like you can make all it takes is one good shot to get you right back into it on any hole. Um, and I know you were there for the first U.S. Adaptive Open, but I just played in the third U.S. Adaptive Open. It wasn't at Pinehurst this year; it was in Kansas, and my game felt really good going in. I was hitting the ball great and everything. First hole of the tournament, I ended up getting a triple because of something crazy that happened. So first hole of the tournament, you got first hole jitters, your
Yeah.
heart's racing, like whatever. I hit a great tee shot. Crazy stuff happened on the second shot. I ended up in the middle of the trees. Whatever happened. So first hole, I'm 3 over. Moral of the story is I ended the day 5 over. I
Wow.
shot I shot 5 over when I was 3 over through one, and you know, it's just it's not over. Like just like no matter what happens on one of any given of the 18 holes, like there's still so much room for opportunity. It's really just about grounding yourself, staying in the moment, not letting your emotions get the best of you, and then just doing what you know, sticking with what you know, and you know it really just it comes with experience. I'll never forget when I was at
Yeah.
Doral, working at Doral, playing the Red Tiger after a round one time. I doubled the first hole, which is a par five, and then bogeyed the second hole. So I was 3 over through two.
Hmm.
I parred the next 16 holes in a row and shot 3 over. I'll never forget this because that really opened up my mind. Like, because most golfers, your everyday golfers, as soon as they get a seven, like as soon as they get a double,
They're
even
done.
a single double, mentally they're like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm out." Like whatever it is, like if they're trying to break 80, if they're trying to break 90, like whatever it is, mentally they're like, "Oh, I'm done. Like I'm not going to be able to like." But no, dude, there's so much opportunity to, so much time that you just have to kind of trust the process and do it one shot at a time, stay present, stay in the moment.
Yeah, that's what I really love about the game of golf. It's not over till it's over, and it's
Yeah.
a direct reflection of life. Life hits us with a lot of things, and it might feel like a triple,
Yeah.
but then it's like you got another hole to play. You got another day to live.
Yeah.
You go out
Golf,
there and make the
golf
most out of it.
golf is like if you want to get to know somebody, play golf with them. Like and everyone says it. Like a lot of people say, like it's great for job interviews. It's great for all kinds of things, like dates and all kinds of whatever. Because like you'll get to know somebody. Like if they're a cheater, if they're a liar, if they're a quitter, like yeah. And then the other things too, like if they're resilient, if they're patient, if they're like there's so much that you can learn from the game of golf that translates over to life. Um, it's
Yeah,
really just it's just a matter if you can actually realize what's happening when it's happening, and then
and that's a very important point there because I mean I've been getting more into the coaching side, and I've been seeing a lot of my clients. They're like they want to just hit the ball good. They're searching for that feeling of just hitting the ball good.
yeah,
When in reality, the game of golf can bring so much more than that. Like that
yeah,
comes as a byproduct if you're patient, if you're
yeah,
committed, if you're humbled through the process. Like those values, those virtues that you integrate
yeah,
through the game of golf. I mean, we've been playing since a very young age. Like we've instilled, you know, values into our character that's made us who we are.
absolutely,
Your character stands out. I would say my character stands out, and it's because of the game of golf and what it's kind of brought through us.
100%. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about how golf has impacted your life, like beyond the course. I know you've been involved in a lot of different, shoots, collaborations, deals and stuff. Like, how has that impacted your life?
I mean, I've been blessed to do all sorts of cool things, stuff on Golf Channel, Golf Digest, whatever. I mean, that's all good and well. Like it's all been part of my goals and things that I've seen for myself since the beginning. Um, for me personally, it could always be more. I feel like I should be doing so much more. Um, but that doesn't take away. I mean, almost every single night, man, when I go to bed, I sit there and I reflect because even if I'm not where I want to be, I'm still where I've been is amazing and such a blessing, and it's all because of the game of golf. But yeah, I try to take just everything that I do on the course and off the course kind of the same. I mean, when it comes to being organized and keeping my stuff together, and I have like, I would say, minor OCD, like whatever, but like I'm the same way on the course. Like if my things aren't where I want them to be, like I just won't be in line how I feel like I need to be in line. But it's the same thing. Like if I'm on the golf course and I see a piece of trash, like I'll pick it up and I'll throw it away and I'll be like, "Oh, golf gods, like they're gonna bless me
Yeah.
with a birdie because of that." And like there's so many things. It's just how you treat yourself, how you treat other people, your playing partners, the other people are on the course. Like if you're considerate, playing music and doing things like when you drive by another group, like if you hopefully like turn it down a little bit, like doing things like there's so much stuff that goes into like etiquette and all that stuff that I feel like isn't being passed on to like younger generations. Just because we kind of get caught up in the fact that we want to have fun and have good vibes and like do all that kind of stuff, which is good. Like we all want to vibe and whatever. But like I don't, I'm getting a little bit off track. But there's so much that just
Yeah.
correlates on and off to
It's all about doing the right thing, man. When you
absolutely.
do, like, it just comes back to you.
Yep.
And I'm wondering because now, like, that kind of leads me on to my next question, which is, how do you stay connected in a day, like a perfect day? How do you stay connected to the best version of yourself? You wake up, like, what does that day look like for you?
So typically these days I golf in the afternoon. So a perfect connected day for me is just waking up, enjoying a nice cup of coffee, kind of like watching the golf channel, like seeing what's going on in the golfing world, seeing what the big guys are doing, um, hanging out with my pup and stuff in the morning, going on a little walk, seeing my family, my grandparents across the street. Actually, for me, it's actually kind of funny because I did this yesterday, but once a week I'll mow my lawn,
Nice. I love that.
and I posted a little clip on my story of like the lines of me cutting it and saying like, oh, you got to be one with the grass on and off of the course. And literally there always has been like something about like a Sunday morning vibe where like you wake up, you do some like chores, do some stuff around the house, clean up, make sure everything in my clothes are folded, like everything's clean, everything's put away, mow the lawn, get my hands a little bit dirty, and then get cleaned up and like go to the golf course, and then like I don't know, something about that is like my like ultimate golf day, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
No, it's great, man. And
Yeah,
you're a big family guy. I mean, I met your dad, and like it
yeah.
seems like you keep your family tight, and you just got the puppy involved in the
Yep.
fam now. Like you're super tight. Like how big is family and the pup, like to you and your success moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, family's huge to me, man. That was one of the biggest parts. One of my biggest struggles when I was living in Miami that entire time is how alone I felt because I was so far away from my family. Um, even though when we get together, me and my dads and my brothers and stuff, it seems like we're constantly bickering and doing our things like as family does. Like we're still closer than we love each other, and I got my grandparents live right across the street, and I get to see my cousins, and now everyone has like kids of their own, and now all of a sudden we're the adults, and you get to play golf with my family and friends and stuff, and share everything that I've learned like on this golf journey with them, and then help them on their games and like all that kind of stuff. I mean, it means everything. You're only as good as the people and your teams that like the people that are around you, the people that you surround yourself with. Um, so yeah, I just kind of get that takeaway. Like I just not everyone is blessed to have a family, and I know for they're not always going to be around, so you got to kind of take advantage of it when they are.
Totally, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember when you were down here at the RAL, you were mentioning that like it's just and it wasn't the best fit.
yeah,
And like, you had your ups, but then you definitely had your downs and, went through the experiences of life, the punches in the face.
yep.
How has like the experience of golf shaped your perspective on personal growth as a whole?
I think it goes back to when I said just staying patient. I
Yeah.
think day in and day out, we kind of lose. And I've always fought with depression and all kinds of things, whether I'm home or not at home, and whatever. And there's a lot that goes into it. And golf saves me for the most part. Whether I'm playing good or not, especially when I'm playing good. I mean, if I'm playing good, I feel I can be myself. But it's really just I don't know, man. You gotta stay patient. You gotta just do your thing and just trust the process. I mean, there's been so long where I feel like I should be doing this, and where I know I have an event coming up, I know I have a tournament coming up, and then I don't really put in the work, and then the event shows up, and you're like, man, why was I so stressed, and why didn't I just buckle down and do what I needed to do day in and day out? Because you don't really see the big picture. You know what I mean? Like, it's so easy to like just get caught up in what you
Yeah.
don't have right now and what you feel like it should be, when you really just have to keep your head down and grind and trust that everything's falling into place as it should when it should. Because I'm a living proof that everything happens for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
when it should, how it should.
Dude, that's so true, man. And it's so
Yeah.
tough to really like have that mindset when you're in that gutter moment
Oh,
where
100%.
it's like, dude,
Yeah.
like there's no getting out of this, you feel like.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you just got to find a new North Star and like, reconnect like emotionally to
Yeah.
to a new life. I truly believe that, every person lives multiple lives in their life
All
where
right.
they live, they die, their soul goes through evolutions and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
kind of just we got to die through our life to really live.
Yeah.
We
Well,
got to kill.
you got to take the good with the bad, right? And that's golf in general, because like you have to know what it's like to go out there and struggle in order to really appreciate those perfect days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you have those days and you're dialed, everything's clicking. You're like, oh, this is amazing. Why can't it be like this every day? And then you go out the very next day and you can't put two shots together, and you're like, what the hell? I mean, it just makes you appreciate the good days. The
Yeah.
rainy days make you appreciate the sun.
So, what are some of the current things you have coming up in terms of competitions or projects, initiatives, like that you're kind of looking forward to in golf?
Yeah, so I've got a tournament coming up in October. I've got two for the end of this year of 2024. I've got a tournament in October in Philly. That is the GAP, the Golf Association of Philadelphia. That's a world ranked tournament. I think that's October 14th and 15th, and then I have another tournament out in Arizona in December. Uh, both are world ranked tournaments, so that's tournament wise. I just did a little YouTube match with Josh, hole in one trick shots. That should be posting.
Nice.
That should be posting sometime soon. There's going to be some good content coming from that. Um, and then yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Just continue to golf and enjoy being home with my friends and family, and golfing in the afternoons with whoever's available.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you're doing now to prepare for your tournaments in terms of like practice? Do you have like a not necessarily like a regimen, but like a process that you're going through, like things you want to like check off?
Really, for me, it's just about consistency of getting out there. Just getting in the reps. I'm not a range rat. I'm not going to sit there and hit 1,000 golf balls a day, but I'm going to try to work on the small things to make sure that I keep the same feels throughout the week, and then throughout, like, because as soon as you take a day off, you lose three that you worked on. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to just stay consistent in my feels. And then just play as much as I can, and also don't for me, it's so easy to like overwhelm myself in just golf. I think it's important to enjoy other aspects of life, no matter how big or how small of what it is, video games or another sort of activity, another sort of sport, working out, or whatever it is, to kind of just keep a healthy balance. where you don't feel like you're too overdoing it. For me, I think it's literally just about being in a right mindset, like just enjoying my life, and everything else kind of falls into place. Because when I'm me and when I'm like a positive, happy-go-lucky like guy, like I have that energy that is infectious. Like that's when it rubs off into my golf game. Yeah,
100%. And it
yeah,
truly is infectious. I mean, you're now like really like one of the main ambassadors of adaptive golf. I'm wondering too, like, how do you take on that type of responsibility to grow adaptive golf as, one of the faces of the game?
yeah. I mean, I'm blessed, man. I'm so blessed to there. It can only get better from here, and the more and more ambassadors of the sport that there are, I think it's really just about it growing as much as possible, and hopefully soon the bigger brands of golf start to see that. As adaptive golf grows, we're going to start to have purses and like an actual tour of players, and all these players want to be involved now, and it's giving all these veterans and all these disabled Americans, or really just disabled people all over across the world, it's giving them a reason to get outside and go enjoy their life and have a purpose and something to strive for. So it's a blessing, man. All I can ever want out of what I do of making videos and posting videos is to spread that positivity on to whoever's watching, especially kids. I mean, if
Yeah.
kids with disabilities need a role model to look up to, I mean, just send them one of my videos and say, look, yo. And it's for regular people too. I mean, there's so many regular golfers, able-bodied golfers that are just like average Joes that need.
Yeah. You cut off there. I think you got a call and we didn't hear that last part, but we got you back now.
I'm on even though I'm on do not disturb, so I don't know how that came through.
You're good. No worries. No, dude, and one of the things that you do, I mean, obviously you're posting content now again and getting consistent with it. Like you've been able to establish so many relationships in golf with other influencers and stuff. Like one thing, like the game, first of all, it's growing exponentially. It's growing so much with the YouTube golf space and just with adaptive golf and all platforms in general. You've been knowing these guys for quite a while now.
Yeah.
What have you noticed from kind of like probably like 5 or so years ago till now, and kind of like where the game is going? What do you see the game like turning into?
Me and you definitely talked about this too. I mean, just exhibition golf. Like people want to watch. There's so many different forms and different levels of golf that like it's still entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Um, and I think YouTube golf is huge. Everything about it is trending in the right direction. Like I said before, like I just hope that we can maintain the etiquette that comes with it. Because
Yeah.
I feel like like a lot of these people, the trending things, and they want to post funny videos and stuff like that. And as
It's
long
just
as
degenerate.
you're not wrecking the course, and as long as you're not interfering with other people and like doing things, and like that's what kind of crosses the line for me. But like, have fun, learn the game, try to be the best that you can be, and like yeah, I mean I feel like something that is like when it comes to collabing with all the or other influencers and stuff like that, it's kind of like a real recognized real kind of thing. Like we all know who's doing it just for views and like just for whatever they're trying to put on like an act, or like they're trying to be something fake, or like whatever it is, and like we can tell who's genuine, who's in love with the game of golf, and who just you're an entertainer, but by being you,
Yeah.
you're not putting on a show. You're literally just like, because a lot of the times, like when I do things on Golf Channel or like whatever, like podcasts or like whatever it is, and I'll get feedback from friends or family or something, and they're like, "Bro, like you speak so clearly, you speak like you're so well spoken. Like, where does that come from?" I'm like, "Bro, like I'm just talking. Like
Yeah.
all you have to do is be genuine. Like let it come from the heart, and like."
a hundred percent.
Real recognize real, man. That's why you have success in whatever it is, because your golf knowledge is through the roof, because whatever, and it reflects in your videos and your content, and that's just what I want to see. That's personally for me, that's what I want to see. I want to see genuine people being themselves, and hopefully that's infectious.
Dude, that's so true. I mean, that's the only way to really show your charisma is to be authentic.
Yeah.
And it's a process. It's a journey of understanding yourself. It's a journey of, understanding what your purpose is and what your message truly is to the world and how to articulate that message.
Mhm.
It's not something you find overnight. It takes practice, and it's really just by turning on the camera and pressing record and just getting good at it.
That's it, man. That's it. I mean, some people, they turn on the camera and they have to like prep up and be like, oh, like pretend to be this
Yeah.
person, and then they hit stop, and then they like start talking, and it's like, who was that? Like, what's that person? But I'm not saying like in a good way. Like some people, it's just like so fake. It's like, why are you trying so hard? It's like,
Yeah.
bro, just speak how you speak. Be you.
And it always reflects in your golf game. If you're trying
100%.
to not be someone if you're trying to be someone that you're not, your golf game's going to struggle. If you're
Oh,
not comfortable in your own shoes, comfortable with your own style of play like you are, like you're just not going to be successful. If you're trying to go for
100%.
greens when your partner is bombing it just because you want to be like
Yeah.
this guy, like it's not going to work out.
Play your game 100%. And I try to be as humble as I can be too, because there's been so many times where like I'll hype up whoever I'm playing with, and I'll be like, yeah, I've done this, I've done that, I'm the best no-handed golfer in the world, and I'm ranked this and I'm ranked that, and I've done this, and like all talk, and then you go up to the first tier, you go up to the next shot, and you like chunk it or like do something stupid, because golf will just humble you so quickly.
Always.
They don't care.
Always.
It doesn't care who you are. Let your game do your talking. Like, be humble, be chill. Like, yeah, I've done cool things, and like, yeah, I've got a lot of friends that are like big names in the industry, or like whatever it is. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, you have to be your own genuine person and let your game do the talking for you, and then just have fun with it, because literally bad shots happen to everybody, and it's part of the game.
Yeah, can't get too high, can't get too low.
Yep, right
Got
in
to
the
stay
middle.
connected right
They,
there.
yes, sir.
Dude, so let's wrap it up by I want you to share the most memorable moment you've had in your golf career.
Uh, the most memorable golf moment I've had in my career was definitely when that kid came to Doral. Um, that quadruple amputee kid came to
Oh
Doral.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I've done a lot of things where like I coach and do clinics for different organizations and stuff like that, and I've coached First Tee and PJ Junior League and all kinds of different things. But I had this one specific kid that his family reached out to me and said, they saw my videos, and him and his entire family flew down to Doral, and I got them rooms, and we set up everything at Rick Smith there, and like I gave him a lesson uh, for 2 days, back to back days, like in the morning. The kid was only 5 years old, and you can find the videos of it on my page or whatever. The kid was only 5 years old
Wow,
with a quadruple amputee, like elbows up to the elbows on both sides, and missing both legs, like wearing prosthetics on both legs. And I taught him how to hit a golf ball. And he's only 5 years old, so he's not going to do too much, but he had so much fun doing it. And just for me to be able to pass that on and just inspire him, and like just watch his smile, like that's what I do it like that. There's no better feeling than that. It
that's
was
beautiful.
it was like the most amazing. I think about that all the time, and it's like you never know who's watching you. You never know who's going to see the videos that you're posting. Like, and it's just about passing it on, man, to the younger generations, and trying to be that role model.
It really is, man. Yeah, I've been getting bigger into the like junior golf coaching. Today I was actually with a couple guys, uh, kids. They're 9 and 14,
Yeah,
and I took them out to the golf course for the first time ever, and they finished the hole. It took them about 30 minutes to finish number one at Doral. That was a
nice.
par five, but I
On
mean,
red, which hole?
on red, first hole,
Yeah,
par five, and
gotta
I
use
was like,
that golf
hey,
course.
you guys are going to learn how to tee up the ball. You're going to hit it. You're going to accept whatever happens, and you're going to keep hitting it until you
Was it
make the
two?
ball in the
Was it
hole.
two brothers?
Two brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, so it probably reminded you a lot of you and your brother, and you're
Oh, a
like trying to
ton.
think of like, wow, like if I had someone to do this to me like back then, like
A
it's all
ton,
about
man.
passing it
And
on.
at the end of the hole, like we were like, wow, like congratulations. You just finished your first ever hole. Like
Yeah,
I don't even remember that moment.
no, no,
I
no.
wish I could remember that moment, man. They were like they literally told me they probably made like a 20 or something on the
Yeah, yeah,
hole, but
yeah.
they were like, dude, this was
Having
the
the
most
time of their life.
rewarding thing I've ever felt. And
Yep.
I was like, wow, like it filled me with joy because it was like I didn't do anything. I just introduced them to golf. I
Yeah.
was like, hit the ball until it goes in the hole.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's what it's
rewarding.
about, man. I'm so glad about like where you're at and what you're doing. I'm extremely like blessed to call you a friend and
Like,
to for what you're doing in the game. It's truly inspiring. I know a lot of us got a lot of inspiration from this podcast. But any final words you want to share with the people? Inspiring messages?
just get out there, man. Doesn't matter where you are. Set goals for yourself. Work at them slowly. You know, if you want consistency, you need to put in consistent work to get there. Um, and it's just you gotta stay patient, stay humble, have fun with it, surround yourself with good people, good vibes, and stay connected.
That's it, baby. That's it. What a way to wrap it. Thank you, Brandon.
Of course.
Appreciate you. Go follow him on Instagram, whole underscore underscore high.
Yes, sir.
Uh, not pin high.
Pin high. There's no pins. There's no pins. You're whole
No
high. Go the
pins, just
distance.
holes, baby.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Brandon. Thank
Leo,
you.
you're the man, brother. I'll talk to
Yeah.
you soon.